Hello, hello, and welcome, my Pisces collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to our timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader for the moment, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, Pisces Moon, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998 at the time of this timeless recording. Author of Words of Grace, From a Professional Witch. 2 versions of that available. One is a Kindle version. There's a link in the description box. You can click that link and preview the first chunk of it for free, including the table of contents, which is broken in. The majority of the book is in chakra chapters, the different graces for the different chakras. It's lovely, it's clean, it's pristine. It's very IKEA over there, over on Kindle, with the original mystical Fellini visual film fest. PDF version of Words of Grace is over on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. My favorite thing on planet Earth. My subscribers get all sorts of cool stuff. One thing, or 3 things actually, that they all have in common is number 1, a daily check-in every day. I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link so that we can chat, literally chat with each other about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a little something, something to send us on our way. Favorite way to start my day, Monday through Sunday, full moon, new moon, Sabbath. Love doing the daily check-ins. They also get all the extended readings, all the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. They're all relationship, soulmate, contract, twin flame, true love based. They're all juggernauts. They're about an hour each. They also get an extensive discount with private sessions when booking a private session with me, spiritual counseling, and or readings. We'll talk about it at the end of the video if you want to hang out for it, but I love it. I highly recommend it. They're the coolest company I've ever worked with. They gave us 7-day free trials. You could try us for a week as a seeker or a human, the first 2 levels of subscription we've got going on over there. And there's a lot more cool stuff coming at the time of this timeless recording, which I have to figure out how to make it work, but I'm signed up to do it. I'm just waiting for it to hit. So click the link, check it out. We're having so much fun, and a lot of Pisces over there for sure. Z's, hi, howdy neighbor. I love you all so much. I love being a Pisces moon, considering what I do for a reading. It's nice that it's hardwired. Very, very happy to serve. So if you feel like a deeper dive because you're Pisces, click the link, check it out, and come Patreon on Patreon with the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons, which you can just call Mal. Hey, Mer, my Mer people, my fishy family. I've been doing work, career, vocation reads for so long, so let's see if I can simplify it in some explanation for the new fishies and their cross-watchers, and then we'll get down to the divination. Feel free to jump ahead if you've heard it all before, although each time I do it, the reading shifts a little bit. So, welcome new Pisceans and the cross-watchers therein. This is what's called the 3 levels of power reading. There is a link in the description box by Caroline Myss, M-Y-S-S. She's a PhD. These are her archetype cards. The link is to a YouTube video about the 3 levels of power that she teaches. I learned about it quite a long time ago, and particularly when she talks about work, career, and vocation, I was like, this is a reading. And I have done so many clients I've lost count, because this is where the money reads are as well. 3 levels of power: the literal, the personal, the symbolic, your work, your career, your vocation. 3 lenses through which to look at your life purpose, which is like that life purpose. Right? You wonder and wander forever on that subject. So here's a way to get some clues, tips, and hints about that, so that you can fulfill your contracts of what you need to do in this life, actually developing spiritual power, if you want to think of it that way, with the archetypes hovering in the 8th chakra. We'll talk about it. Yeah, so we're doing 11 cards for this spread. You'll get 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards for the 8th chakra. Her book, Anatomy of the Spirit, put me in touch with the 8th chakra system instead of just the 7, which sends down the codes to all the other chakras, shifting what you attract and what you repel, so you have the opportunity to no longer delay what cannot be prevented, because you'll just keep reincarnating until it's done. It's fine. They love us. They're like, hey, take your time. No rush, right? So this is third vocation, third level of power dominant, but it's the 8th chakra for all 3 levels. Then we'll get 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot, feminist goddess deck for the internal, the goddess energy, heart, third eye crown, 2nd level of power, career dominant because it's creative intuition. 8th chakra is visionary intuition, which is very Pisces. And then we'll get the lower 3 chakras, the masculine energy, the yang dynamic, with the mythic tarot. Juliet Sharman Burke, from the outside, looking at ourselves, from the inside, us looking out at different people, places, and things, including corporations and industries and all that stuff, too, in the physical world. So we'll get 3 of those. 9, look, I'm doing math, I'm getting better. Then we're going to get 1 Whispers of Lord Ganesha from Angela Hartfield to help remove the obstacles. The Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. He's a sweetheart. I love him. And I have a very long relationship with Lord Ganesh, for sure, to help remove the 3 atoms in between lead and gold. Symbolically speaking, lead is heavier. Those 3 atoms cannot be created or destroyed. They can only be changed, transferred, transformed, released. Alchemized is the language I prefer. So he's been very, very helpful in general to just remove obstacles, work, career, vocation, particularly God of prosperity and abundance and all of that. And we, of course, will end with a Mat Khan healing mantra. So this is where cross-watchers can really participate, work the mantra, take the whisper of Lord Ganesha into consideration, and you may very well be able to help the Pisces collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in general, all of us, not just the Pisces. You are cross-watching for fulfill our life purpose, do what we came here to do in our work, career, vocation, so that we become happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser, mer people. Believe me, you want it that way. And making a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world for all of us, because there is no backwards on the spiritual journey. It's an upward spiral. You're not really repeating things, you're just seeing it from a higher level of consciousness, bit by bit, day by day. So that's what these readings are for. Like I said, I've done variations on what we're about to do here, way more cards. So like I said, you want to book me for a private reading, we'll talk about it at the end. I think that's enough explanation, don't you? I do. Last reading of the series, they always tell me, take your time. They always save the best for last with Pisces, I guess, because I'm a Pisces moon, so you're welcome. Thank my mom. She's the one who gave birth to me. Good timing. Full moon, baby. Virgo sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising, Venus in Libra, 3rd house. Yeah, so let's do this. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I promise you, I will do my best to help anyone feel more fulfilled, a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser version of themselves by fulfilling their life purpose moment by moment, day by day, breath by breath, stroke by stroke. Because that's what I incarnated to do. So, feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath if you will. And let's find the still point where that shift from explanation to divination happens really strongly in me. Ready? Let's see if we can have fun with this. Please take a nice deep breath. Got the wrong deck in my hand. Thank you. Still point. Oh yeah. Pantheonic override. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for us Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, beloved ones. We need 3 Caroline Mace archetype cards representing the soul power that needs to be alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, poverty to prosperity, limitation to liberation, hell to heaven, perdition to paradise. Yeah, dull to dynamic. I think you get the vibe. In our work, career, vocation, let's start with work. First level of power, literal world, lower 3 chakra dominant, our work. Survival intuition, how we survive in this world. What about our career? Second level of power, personal level of power, heart, third eye, crown, dominant. What we hunger and thirst and yearn for and burn for. Our creative intuition. What's the 8th chakra dominant archetype there? And what's going on in the 8th chakra for the 8th chakra dominant? Third level of power, visionary intuition, our spiritual power, our mystical power, our life calling in this timeless Work-Career-Vocation read. Yes. Woo! Yes. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, I smell something fishy, and I think it's us. Okay, so this is a fool hedonist rescuer contract. That's the one you gotta watch out for, that rescuer. No, not that the hedonist. Look, all archetypes are neutral. As wonderful as they sound, as horrible as they are in the lead, as horrible as they sound, as brilliant and healthy as they are in the light. So we've got the Fool archetype, which is of the masculine family archetype, 9 different families. The Hedonist, the Wild card, long relationship. You can have an archetypal reason, a season or a lifetime. This is a lifetimer for me. And the Rescuer, Healing family archetype, which tends to come in my life as for reason. It's like, okay, here, rescue this, and then done, right? We'll talk about it. Because written on each of these cards, it says shadow attribute, light attribute. If you think of that as lead gold, then we're somewhere in that percentage scale of alchemy. So the lead of the Fool, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. Now look, Pisces, we're very emotional. I'm a Pisces moon, but I'm Leo rising, so and I'm a Virgo sun. Can I use humor? I was raised with sharp razor wit in my family. So the light we're shooting for, and see if you can feel this vibe in me. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Welcome to my end of the pond. Yeah, no, for spiritual mystical power, when we get that higher vibe, right, when we're seeing things from a higher perspective, like for instance, the whole illusion of separation is just that, an illusion. It only appears that way, right? And then, and there is no death from the point of view of the immortal, eternal soul. So, the whole idea of like racism and war and just like all this violence and stuff is like, this is stupid. You just have to come back. Why would you do that, right? So, just an example. Love that. In our career, we got the hedonist. Now, even though I am wearing clothes, I'm about to feel very naked. The lead pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. I am Generation X. Okay, I graduated high school in 1986. I believe the years that Bartles and James was created. Woo! Dionysus archetype, grapevine pentacle, dyed in the wool. I feel naked. The light attribute inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Well, one does try. Okay, loving that. Now the rescuer. Now look, I know a lot of animal rescuers. I have rescued black cats, but they have always found me. So who rescued who, right? So I know so many animal rescuers, right? The rescuer is sort of a different vibe than the hero. Like when we think of the hero archetype, we think the rescuer. And it's not necessarily that. This is a healing family archetype, not an action family archetype like the hero or the avenger. The shadow attribute assumes that the rescued will reciprocate. Keeps the rescued one needy. Like the adventures of Baron Munchausen syndrome, right? That's not good, right? That is not good. Assumes, you know what happens when we assume. Watch the movie Bad News Bears. That's where I learned that at like age 6. It was a good movie. Dun dun dun. So look, the light attribute is so holy and so healthy, provides strength and support to others in crisis. I'm a witch. Comes with acts out of love with no expectation of reward, and I can say in that sense, absolutely. When it is an emergency situation, I mean, I've had people call me, Mark, I think I broke my arm. What should I do? I'm like, dial 911. It's like, that's not my field of expertise, but not dial 911. But they were freaking out. I calmed them down and they did, and they were fine, right? That kind of over the phone, right? But certainly, as a professional witch in the world, I have helped a lot of people through crises of spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, for many, many years, even way before I started drawing the circle productions. But it happens for a reason. It's not like a season of my life or a lifetime. Like, some people are just rescuers, and of course, this is first responders, and people, like, there's a literal interpretation of all of these. But if you go in symbolically, you'll key into that. Excellent. That's the most I think we talk about any of the cards, honestly. Maybe we talk a little bit more about the mantra and the whisper from Lord Ganesha, but let's get the next 3 tarot on the table. Daughters of the Moon, internal, internal. Like I said, the archetypes are 8th chakra dominant. If you fuse them all together, the Fool, Hedonist, Rescuer is the name of the contract. You could also be dealing with somebody who has these archetypes dominant, reason, season, or lifetime. Like, I could see that. I can relate to it, but someone who's like lifelong, it's a different vibe, right? All right, so let's get these. Second level of power, dominant, heart, third eye crown, creative intuition, but you have creative intuition in your work career and in your vocation. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, here we go. Still point. My goddesses, please override. Gladly. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of water, the sign of Pisces, and the powers of the West. Please, beloved goddesses of mutable water. 3 cards face down in clarity for the Pisces, us Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and Cross Watchers watching this video. Drawn, at least to be doing this reading, drawn to receiving this reading. What's going on for the Pisces collective? Rescuer in the 8th in our work, in our career, hedonist in the 8th. These are flying out. And a Fool in our vocation, which is, those who speak power to authority with humor and get away with it. I mean, with a long history. So what's going on there? In our vocation in this timeless work, career, vacation read. Okay, 2 major arcana and 1 minor arcana. Interestingly enough, the minor arcana is in our vocation. So you got to think the Fool, right? Making people laugh at the absurdity of things. It's so healing, right? A little Patch Adams vibe going on there. But fearlessly revealing emotion is certainly a choice for a Pisces to do, considering we can flood the village when we're feeling something, keeping in mind we might also be empathic. So the 2 of Flames, Mahaweha, makes sense. I'm going to say that's throat chakra, willpower, spit, swallow, or chew. 2s are usually choices, right? So back and forth, sometimes called the indecision card as the 2 of Wands. The Polynesian volcano goddess with fire in her hand. So she knows what she wants. You know what you want, but do I want to do it this way? Or do I want to do it this way? I mean, doing what I'm doing right now, right? Spiritual power flowed through me. I still got to choose. Because I've got some filthy comic spirit guides on there, like Lenny Bruce, George Carlin. They're there. Carrie Fisher, writers and all of that. I call them the Shecky Collective. They're always whispering stuff in my third eye of my throat chakra, and I'm like, I can't say that on camera, Lenny. I think you get me. So loving that. Chewing on something here in our vocation. Get ready. The Lovers under the Hedonist. Now, this is a card of life-changing decision, the Lovers. I don't care what the artwork says, but it is Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, swimming around without her nightie with a friend here. So certainly you get that aquatic vibe. Aphrodite is in the Greek means essentially the goddess of sea foam, so an ocean goddess, very Piscean, though ruled by Venus, not Neptune. Certainly here we are looking at some kind of life-changing decision. When it's a major arcana card in one of the chakric zones, in this case heart, third eye crown, it usually unifies all 3, but again, life-changing decisions, choices and decisions, throat chakra. Every choice has consequence, right? We breathe out choice, we automatically breathe in energetically the consequence, just constant, right? But a decision is life-changing. I like this as an example. There's a difference between, I think I'll make another cup of coffee tonight, and I think I'll give this all up, and I don't know, go grow my own coffee beans and live off the land. Not gonna happen. Okay, just saying, but that is life-changing here. And in a career, if you are going through a major career decision, this makes sense. But to do that as the hedonist, keep an eye on the things you use to self-medicate from the stress and the pain. That's a choice, but maybe it's a decision. We'll look at this from the outside in a bit, because loving this big time, the rescuer with the sun, Amaterasu, of such beauty, of such health, of such clarity, really lighting up all 4 chakras there. So I would say, I mean, if we're talking about acts out of love with no expectation of reward, that feels like the sun. Like the sun shines on everybody. Like she sort of don't care, Amaterasu. She's like, right, letting it shine. But again, that's on the inside. So another chakric alignment here. So I'm going to say, as far as your creative intuition goes, it is the choice that's going on in your vocation that is probably going to trigger this decision in our career. I'll put that like that. And then, of course, that's going to have the resulting effect of an enlightenment, a healing, a shining, a radiance, a happiness, right? And I will say it's been said before, whenever the sun card pops up in any kind of spread, it always lightens the spread. Always. And we've got another shot for the sun card to hit with our second deck. The lower 3 chakras we are doing, as I said, the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke, the workbook that taught me how to read the court cards, because I hated the court cards until I got, but I was already like a teenager by then. I started very young. I started with my first deck of Rider-Waite Tarot when I was 12 years old. I'm going to be 55 in September. Yeah, I know, don't look at things. Yeah, I had to check and see which side the kitty cat face was on. Professional witchcraft. It's a journey. Shall we? Lower 3 chakras. Outside, looking at ourselves. Us from the inside, looking at different people, places, and things. Maybe even the cross-watchers. You never know. And remember, things can include industries, corporation, money, and all of that. Please take a nice deep breath. Ooh. Still point. My gods override. As I call upon my beloved gods of water, the sign of Pisces, powers of the West, please, beloved gods of mutable water, ecstasy, bliss, love, and true love, and all of that, please, beloved ones, 3 cards face down for us Pisces, collective sun, moon, rising, Venus, suns, and cross-watchers watching this video drawn to this reading. What's going on in our work with the rescuer in the 8th, the sun on the inner, what's going on the outer, hedonist in our career, lovers on the inner. I mean, if we're really feeling good and going with the vibe and celebrating the beauty, we have a better shot at making the right life-changing decision, at least on the inner. So there's the outer. And with the Fool in the 8th of our vocation, our spiritual calling, but to chew on it, a little back and forth action going on there, and the throat chakra feels like with the 2 of Wands, what's going on from the outside in, inside out. Lower 3 chakra, masculine. Get the F out. In this timeless read, oh, buckle up. The Fool, 2 of Flames on the inner. How about 2 of Cups on the outer? A second chakra, emotional, empathic, something or other bond with somebody else. Well, second chakra is one-on-one relationships, like an umbilical cord. Could also be money, sex, and power, but I think we know what you're making, what you're chewing on. I think this could easily be a relationship with somebody else. And, oh wait, there's more. We'll get back to this, right? Keep your sense of humor for sure. Fearlessly revealing emotions, though, if that is romantic, because that means it's not in the workplace. Right? It's not in the workplace, but it's definitely something we will talk about 2 of Cups again before this reading is done. Ready? Breathe. Hedonist, lovers, temperance, all right? You got two. Wait till you see the next major arcana card about to hit. Lower three chakras, all three of them temperance. Iris, the goddess of the rainbow in Greek mythology, with the Two of Cups in her hands, like right there. Wow. So look, temperance. We could have a long conversation about this. We will not. Right here, right now. But temperance is another word in a way for alchemy. When you temper metal, you take something rusted, beat up, busted, dusted, right? Right? And you heat it up. You heat it up to white hot and you douse it in oil. I learned this from YouTube videos. Awesome restoration. That guy is so cute. Watch him. He barely says a word when he does so adorable. Tattoos, totally my type. And in the Netherlands, so the chances of me running into him are probably slim to none. Adorable. Nothing like a Hephaestus archetype with Aphrodite on the table here. So that temperance, right? It takes time. It takes patience. It's about healing. It's about balance. But when you hear somebody say temper, what are they saying? Most of the time they're saying shut the hell up or watch yourself, you're about to explode. What I would think this would mean as a major arcana card that we are in a place in our life. This may not necessarily be a person or like us. Well, it could be us from the outside looking in, obviously. But this is going to take time. This is going to take patience. This is a slow roll to make this decision. So there is no rush because we're looking for a balance. Lower three chakra intuition lined up with creative intuition, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and you're celebrating the beauty in yourself. This almost feels like a true love relationship read, although the true love card is not on the table. Two of Cups is not a true love card the way I read. It's like, oh, hi. Now, this is when Harry met Sally, when Eros met Psyche. Long story, great myth. There are tons of videos on YouTube that you can watch to get the full myth. Essentially, he pricks his finger on one of his golden arrows, sees her, falls madly in love, but he doesn't want her to see him because everybody who sees Eros falls in love. He's the god of romantic love. I dated him. He's fabulous, but those wings, and he's married now. So, so that's like when you are attracted to somebody, you don't really see who they are just yet. So keep that in mind. And the choice, do I want to reveal how I feel or not? I don't know. I'm a Pisces. Cross my legs, Virgos. Cross your legs. So this temperance, absolutely. Your creative intuition is so on point, but it's going to take time. My guides say to me, do you want cake or hot batter in a pan? I'm like, I want cake. They're like, then slow your roll because, that's the process. That's the creative process. All right, loving it, but creating, like you have the balance to do this. I love this. Ready? Okay. Rescuer in the 8th, Sun on the inner. How about the Empress Demeter on the outer? Amazing. The feminine energy, the divine feminine, all four queens, fixed signs in the tarot. Swords, wands, cups, and pentacles come together as the spirit. Water, earth, air, fire. The spirit queen, Demeter, the feeding topsoil. I mean, if we're talking about abundance, if we're talking about prosperity, she gave birth to Persephone, whose Roman name is Proserpina, is where we get the word prosperity from, probably, or the other way around, whatever. Latin and whatnot. I'm up in my Latin and Greek, but in my cheek, and I'm not so weak. Because this feels very, very obviously divine feminine energy here going on, but with that rescuer. Now, I'm going to say I consider myself predominantly divine feminine. Really, look at me. Feel my vibe. Ooh, myrrh. There's no business. Like a slow business? I don't know, whatever. Certainly here as the mother archetype there that Demeter is, rescuing people. Be really, really, really sure about the choices and the decisions that you make coming from this place. And are you willing to serve with no expectation of reward? Because with the sun on the inner helping the topsoil to produce, give forth abundance and prosperity. That just feels really, really wonderful. And if that is us from the outside looking at ourselves, this is a very, very powerful read, but it is going to take time. But that doesn't mean you cannot start celebrating and embracing the beauty in life and in yourself now. Decision, life-changing. Loving this read. Okay. We got the chakras. The chakras are on the table. They're on the track. Let's get that whisper of Lord Ganesh, because honestly, the alchemy here is the only thing that everything else looks really good. But remember, these archetypes, particularly in a general read, are neutral. Everybody's at a different place with this. So let's ask Lord Ganesh how to remove those 3 atoms between lead and gold, to do what we came here to do as the full hedonist rescuers that we're destined to be, at least for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ganesh, please override. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, please, beloved one card in clarity for us Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video, drawn to this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, beloved one, in the form of an oracle message here, using the whispers of Lord Ganesha to help the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, alchemize our shadow to light, our lead to gold, our pain to peace, our toxic to healthy, and our life purpose through work, career, and vocation for this timeless work, career, and vocation reading. Healing. Now, there could be us as the healer as well as the healed, both fish if you want to look at it that way. The peacock. This is Ganesh with riding a peacock, and we're going to talk about Lakshmi, and I'm going to talk about Hera a little bit, because the peacock as a magical tool, ancient, let alone a healing tool. So, card number 36, healing. The true essence of your soul is one of complete health. Yes, because it's the immortal soul. When people say, hail the traveler, that's the immortal soul. It's the part that does not die, right? Just playing roles, right? Like a Hollywood contract. Oh, you get 18 more movies you got to make before we release you from this genre. No! Ganesha is pictured sitting on a peacock. Peacock feathers have been used in curative remedies for thousands of years across countless traditional cultures. They are said to carry spiritual medicinal energy that can assist people seeking balance and healing in their lives. The challenges of daily life can throw you out of balance with the truth of your being. Yes, because the nervous system, particularly as sensitives and empaths and all of that, the nervous system gets overloaded, it gets inflamed, and then the personality that arises out of that, Matt Kahn calls the ego. And I agree, I'm not at my best, you know? Remember that you were created from the perfection of divine light and love. Your physical body is simply a shell that covers your soul. It's not new. That idea, because it's the truth. True healing is only possible when you take responsibility for your own well-being on this earth and your self-empowerment. See yourself as complete, healthy, and whole. Ganesha prompts you to believe that you truly are capable of handling any matters of health or relationships without blame and with integrity and grace. Wow, that's an interesting thing, that relationships are in there as well, because I gotta say, that Two of Cups staring at me right there, staring at me. Bosco, watch it torch the house. This is, of course, healing is part of the alchemical process. Certainly it's indicated here with the Temperance card, but I will also say with the Empress, Demeter, think of all of the nutrition and the herbs and the plants and, you know, all of the gifts that nature's had, the doctrine of signatures, like she signed them, this does this, in a way, you know, if you know how to read that particular physical language. So I'm loving this. I don't have a peacock feather. I might. You never know what's up in my room. Oh, shadows upstairs. I don't. That's why we have a subconscious mind. It knows I'm working. So let's get our last card down. Cross watchers, heads up. Here we go. Here we go. Time for the Mekon healing mantra. Our last card down and bring it all together. These work if you work them. I have had this deck since he put them out 2018. I've worked all these mantras, and it is a healing mantra. And we're going to remove obstacles by healing, so let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Masters, please override. As I call upon the beloved Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, please, bright, brilliant ones, one card in clarity for us Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video, drawn to this reading. What is the perfect healing mantra to help us alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy, the illusion to truth, the fear to love, the lead to gold, the restriction to liberation, the perdition to paradise, the poverty to prosperity, the woe to wealth, the lead to gold, fulfilling our life purpose through work, career, vocation in this timeless work career. Nope. In this timeless work, career, and vocation, read resolving anger. There you go. That's where the healing part is. Resolving anger. Conflict reminds me when I need space for myself. This may well be a relationship that in that Two of Cups might bring about some anger, because like I said with Temperance, if I didn't say it, Temperance takes three forces: time, heat, and time, heat, and pressure, right? So it is like, do you want warm batter in a pan, or do you want cake? This is about taking the time that you need for yourself, particularly in dealing with situations that might be more about frustration, because I'm not getting... But in a life-changing decision, if you're really, really angry, that provides the alchemy to make this decision. But it also does speak of that fire in the throat, like, right? And with that Fool there, really, I think the choice that you make here is of a spiritual, mystical, life purpose kind of choice that then will inform and move the life-changing decision all the way down into physical form. So let me read this one for you. Resolving anger. I've gotten this one lots of times. And you know, it's not always, well, I live alone, so taking space for myself, well, with cats, right? I do leave the house. I mean, you know, I do have a life. Several, apparently. Where are we? Receiving, resolving anger. Conflict reminds me, when I need more space for myself, when anger is resolved, you're able to see your emotional reactions or the abrupt responses of others as evidence of profound transformation taking place. So, that right there is sort of on the table. We may be feeling it. We may be dealing with somebody else who is feeling it, going through a bit of what? A meltdown. Melting down is part of the language of spiritual alchemy, by the way. When anger is present, it acts as a sign of needing more space to face the feelings that are ready to be healed, or to balance out patterns of doing with moments of silent being. Oh, that would make sense for a rescuer in the world. Wouldn't it? Like, just like horrible things that happen to things that you rescue. Let's just leave that there. I don't want to get that angry on camera. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Like people, places, things, nature, right? Empress, Demeter, that could cover a lot. But you've got that light on the inside of the sun, so this is what's saying maybe this is being very well tempered by your own decision to more be the hedonist to get you through this. It feels like this might be where your leverage is. There's a choice here, but the big decisions in your career, our career, as you resolve anger, you're able to find the time you need to be both rested and productive. Right? Like I said, nervous system is inflamed, you need to rest. But there's other thing that... Not really enjoying yourself there, but then going into the shadow of the hedonist to cope with that, it's not sustainable. This mantra is ideal for managing stress, deepening interpersonal communication, and tempering frustration, I think. Ding, 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 ding. I think that's it. So look, if you try and hold down your frustration, think of it as swallowing fire. That's why spit, swallow, or chew. Oh, you could do that for a little bit. Like, okay, I'm not doing this right now, but when I get home, I'm going to deal with this. But if you don't, inflammation, infirmation, whatever. We are part of a rhythm nation. Whatever. However you want to do that, Ms. Jackson, if you're nasty. Let's resolve some anger here. Let's put this together in a blessimation, a combination of a blessing and a summation. We will then end the reading formally, but then I'm going to chat about some stuff, and I usually do refer to these cards if something else shows itself in the present moment. Oh yeah, and then we're going to talk about Patreon and readings if you want to hang out for that. And usually, particularly with the Fool archetype on the table, be warned, it can get a little goofy. But first, please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. And let us end as we began, as I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For us Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need to fulfill our life purposes, our sacred contracts, and a plan much larger than anything we can imagine or conceive in our vocation by fearlessly revealing emotions, helping people laugh at their absurdity and hypocrisy, and perhaps that's a choice we need to chew on, particularly if we are resolving anger, a sign that conflict is there, maybe the conflict's in us, and so we need to take more space for ourselves, particularly dealing with some kind of interpersonal communication. Could be business, could not, but there's definitely an emotional bond there. That Two of Cups feels very umbilical, sacral to sacral, money, sex, power too. But may we fulfill our life purpose in our career, inspiring creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrating the beauty in ourselves of our own decision, bringing this into alignment bit by bit, breath by breath, which is going to take some time as we temper our frustrations, perhaps, because the journey itself is supposed to be a little frustrating here or there. It ain't much of a hero's journey without demons, dragons, vampires, villains, and challenges. And may we fulfill our life purpose in our work, providing strength and support to others in crisis, acting out of love with no expectation of reward, particularly if someone else is melting down and needs to resolve anger, which is what I do for a living. That seems right, because maybe that's how our light shines. Maybe it is that service. Open heart, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Do you want me to hold space for you? I'm glad to hold space for you. With that foundation, that lower three chakras, that divine feminine, Demeter, the feeding soil, the Mother Earth herself, not Gaia, but Demeter, the combination of all the queens in the tarot. So the fire, the earth, the air, the water, all together as the spirit queen. And may we do this with, to, and for healing. That we heal ourselves and help others as we heal, fulfilling our life purpose, resolving anger when we need to, because conflict reminds us when we need to take more space for ourselves. And may all of us Pisces collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and our cross-watchers, be blessed with all that we need to be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of ourselves. For a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser work, career, vocation. For a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. Roar! Thank you, Janet Grace, for the lion roar. I said in other videos in the series, because this is new to this series, this music, I said, we're not going to start all of them with lion roar, but I really want to. And then I talked to Janet like 2 days ago. She goes, oh, no, we're doing that every song. Starting going, like, yay. Expect the unexpected. Sometimes dreams do come true. Oh, if you like the music, if you like the reading, if you like any of this stuff, please hit the thumbs up. It shifts the algorithm so other Pisces and cross-watchers can find the reading. And I gotta say, this is a very interesting and yet fun, hedonistic kind of read. I like it a lot. And if you want more of me on YouTube, I don't know, like subscribe or something if you want, because I'm not stopping. And let me be honest, let's have a confessional moment. I do YouTube because it's a gateway drug to Patreon. Are you kidding me? Patreon is the best career move I've ever made to date. And I've done a lot of cool stuff in my work, career, and vocation. Ooh, we're working on that book now. Just look at my resume if you like. It's like, whoa, this kid's been places. Yeah, I have. And I've seen a lot of crazy. So, and I've seen a lot of magnificent and miraculous as well. So, yeah, I love Patreon. Seekers, humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, mystics, gods, goddesses is one tier. They're the top tier. They get everything. All of my subscribers get the daily check-ins, the extended readings, and the extensive discounts on private sessions and readings with me. We'll talk about that next, but there is their 7-day free trials that we have at the time of this timeless recording for Seeker and Human, and I think I'm going to keep them in perpetuity moving forward, but the right way, going forward, whatever word that is, I don't remember. I am, after all, going to be 55. Yeah, I know, I'll look at things, but, you know, it's been a long day. I love it. Come check it out. Like I said, there's new stuff coming. They're always giving us cool stuff on Patreon. So go click the link, check it out. A lot of the people who have tried the 7-day trial, I think all of them have pretty much said, yeah, no, for $3 or $5 a month, I'm in. The daily check-ins a lot are wonderful. Yeah, so let's talk about readings. I've been doing readings for a very long time, as I have mentioned repeatedly, in this reading in particular. So it took me a long time for me to raise my prices from when I started the company to our 25th anniversary, May 1st, 2023. So I made a new video for it, but it's also on my website, drawingthecircle.com. You go to the store, you click the store, poof, you're in the store, and you'll see all these, things that you can check out, but you'll see one that says reading packages and one that says spiritual counseling. It's all spelled out there. The video is actually there. You can watch it on the website if you like, or you can just go down into the description box and look at the booking private sessions with Mal. It's about 11 minutes. I have a lot of fun with it. It makes me laugh. My mom likes it. And I probably won't change my prices for another 25 years. But I do say over and over and over again, I've never turned anybody away because of lack of finances. That goes against my honor code so strong that it would rip me apart. I won't do it. Because where there's a witch, there's a way. And we can work it out. We can work it out. So, look, this is a good read. I like this for me because I know, because I live alone, the conflicts that I tend to have day to day in work, career, vocation are about glitchy things, right? Someone who promised something but didn't deliver and didn't even notify, like stuff like that, just human stuff. But certainly, if we're removing obstacles by healing, it's the tea. So reach out if you want a work, career, vocation read. I would lay more cards. I may lay more cards on top of this from myself, honestly. But regardless, I think Pisces are pretty amazing. I was married to a guy who was a Pisces once in the long, long ago in this lifetime. Apparently he was the good one, go figure. But we were in our 20s, what are you gonna do? So whatever. But that's why I have a natural affinity Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler, her Pisces moon is the same, her Pisces sun is the same degree as my Pisces moon. That's why I'm a little scared to ever meet her, but I would totally would. She's fun, I like her. I don't want kids either, thanks. But anyway, I love you all. I love my fishy family, my mer people. This is probably the longest video of the series, and I don't care why. Because I love you, and we have to stay together to just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. I love you. Hang in there, you can do this, literally. Heal, hail. Farewell, my darlings, and blessed, blessed be.